4-part question, and I think I get to do 3 out of 4 of them. I should run for the state. Just to be easier on this question. Your first question to explain the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment is at the end of the original Bill of Rights. And I'm not talking down to anybody. There's a lot of people who don't know that. I actually have a lot of people who told me they didn't even know Ms. Kirkpatrick's running for re-election because she just get voted in last year. And I have to tell people, it's 2 years for a representative, it's 6 years for a senator, it's 4 years for a president. Presidents can only go 2 terms or 10 years maximum. That's it. I explain that to a lot of people. The 10th Amendment says, basically, I won't get it exactly correct, but I'll come real close. 10th Amendment says any power not granted to the federal government under the Constitution, nor prohibited to the states by the Constitution, shall be reserved to the states and the people. That's what the 10th Amendment says. That is your biggest problem in the federal government. You want to know why the government doesn't like the Constitution? The Constitution doesn't give them power. The Constitution limits their power. That's what they don't like. It tells them what they can't do. And when you put somebody with quite the ego in Washington, they don't like to be told what they can't do. That's what it does. That's what the 10th Amendment is. As far as the 10th Amendment states' rights that's going to the states, Sylvia's going to speak on that. Your other question was H.R. 3200. When it gets passed, what can we do? Great question. If anybody's read 3200, anybody? Look at that. 4. That's not bad. You all can't sleep at night like me, huh? That's okay. That's all right. It takes a while to really understand what the heck they're talking about. 3200 really doesn't come into effect until 2013.
Right.
Now ask yourself, why is it 2013? Oh, it's because our president's going to be up for re-election in 2012, and he'll be in office in January 2013 if he wins. And then what happens if you don't like the health care bill? You going to vote him out? Can't. He's a lame duck. He's in there. That's my problem with the entire bill. Why are we in a hurry to pass this giant bill if it's really not going to come into effect for another 3 years? What's the rush? Did we not learn our lesson from the stimulus bill? We passed that one fast. We spent about 10% of the money. That's it. The rest of it's backloaded over the last 2 years of his presidency. So if the economy's turning around like he's saying it is, why don't you turn that money back to the taxpayer and give it all back, because we apparently didn't do it in the first place. As far as recall of a representative or a senator, representatives can be thrown out of the House of Representatives by their people with a 2/3 vote. I already looked that up because I'm probably going to irritate a quarter of them. As long as I don't irritate a third plus one, I should be okay. Because I don't want to do that where I don't want to be in the house and walk in and have it look like the teacher's lounge when I was teaching junior high, because I think I'm going. So you can't really, by the time you try to get rid of a representative, just vote her out. Just vote her out. And on that, I get a lot of questions on term limits. So if somebody was going to ask a term limits question, I'm sorry. I took it from you. We have term limits, people. It's every 2 years for a representative, it's every 4 years for a president, and it's every 6 years for a senator. If you don't like what your representative's doing, vote her out of office. Get up and vote her out. You cannot. Senator Kennedy died here recently. I disagree with, I think I'm safe to say, everything he ever did politically. I disagree with that. But I admire the man. And I admire the man because he didn't waver in his beliefs. And that's an admirable quality. When the rest of the people said, "How dare you?" he said, "Because it's what I believe in." And he did. And I respect that. I don't like what he did. I don't like anything that he stood for as far as legislation. But I respect the fact that that man stuck to his beliefs. And you have to respect that. And to say we need term limits because he shouldn't have been in for 47 years, that's the people of Massachusetts' job, not mine. He represents that state. He doesn't represent this one. He doesn't represent me. He represents that little corner of the United States that says, you know what, we love him. Congress has an approval rating of around 20%, but if you ask every single person They'll usually tell you, we love our congressman. I mean, does anybody in the room like Nancy Pelosi? Let's get the hands up. None? That's shocking. If you go to San Francisco, if you go to Berkeley, they'll knock you down telling you how much they love her. And you know what? They have the right to vote her in every 2 years. That's their representative. But if you don't like yours, term limits is on you. That's your job. You have the responsibility for term limits. That is letting the government take care of you. Term limits. Let's have term limits. That's telling the government, you know what, government, I don't like the guy, but I really don't want to get involved, so he can stay as long as he wants. You get rid of him for me. No, get your hands dirty. Vote him out of office.